connection establishment, when I say how a connection is established to your PostgreSQL database, I'll come here. I'll do, you can hear me, right? Hello?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, yes.
When I do ps-ef grep postgres, when you see a very big line with -t in between, it means your PostgreSQL database cluster is running in this machine. In PostgreSQL, you call it as PostgreSQL database cluster. Database cluster is nothing but group of databases. One instance can serve multiple databases here. So this line indicates you have one instance running in this machine, or a group of databases running in this machine, or PostgreSQL cluster is running in this machine. Right? If you have multiple instances, you will have multiple big lines with -t in between. And this you call it as a postmaster or your listener. The responsibility of postmaster is to establish connections, take care of other background processes, and instance recovery with the help of recovery process. So these are the three responsibilities of postmaster. When you run this command ps-ef grep postgres, when you see a very big line with -t in between, it means your postmaster is running in this machine, or your PostgreSQL instance is running in this machine. The responsibility of postmaster is to establish connections, take care of other background processes, and helps with instance recovery with the help of recovery process. What is connection establishment? For example, you have your client, wanted to establish connection with database to get some information. Let us say you have entered username as A and password as X. You click on sign in. In the front end, the request will go to the middleware, and middleware has to cross check whether A comma X exists or not in the table. So what it has to do, it has to fetch that record from the table. So before accessing the record directly, he has to authenticate himself. So he will contact your postmaster. Postmaster will have a rule book whether to allow this client to connect or not. Let us assume the rule book says yes. This guy will create another process called user backend process and hand it over to your client. Now this guy will go inside the database, get the data, give it to the user. When a client wanted to get some data from the database, he cannot get it directly. Instead, he has to first authenticate himself. And your postmaster does that authentication process. Once the authentication is successful, your postmaster will create another process called user backend process, your server process. And these two will communicate each other now. And your postmaster will go on another client request. Any other client wanted to establish a connection, he will serve. And after connection is established, this guy came for that select request, right? So he'll ask him, I wanted to get whether AX is there or not. He'll go inside the database, get it, give it to the user. Is this clear? Yes, no, maybe. So this is what happens. Your client process will send a connection request. The connection request is received by your postmaster. Postmaster then creates user backend process and hand it over to client upon successful authentication. Now, this user backend process will go inside the database, get the data, give it to the user. The responsibility of postmaster here is just to establish the connection. Once the connection is established, he will look out for another connection requests. Clear? Hello?
Yes.
Right. Um, Again, when you do this, when you see a very big line with -t in between, it means your postmaster is running. And the left hand side section is your installation location. Right hand side section is your database files location. In the installation location, you will have all the binaries. pSQL, pgdump, all these are tools that help you work with your database. And the database files location will have all your database files, your tables, data files, transaction logs, control file, other important files, configuration files, etc. And for example, learning your PostgreSQL is nothing but understanding these two locations. And when you know these two locations thoroughly, you're done with your PostgreSQL learning. It is as simple as that, right? For example, this is the example I give often. For example, I'll go here, Word. I wanted to learn MS Word. What I need to do, I just need to understand what is there in this page. What is this main window? What is this home? What is this paste? What is this cut, copy, format? What is this? And what is this? Then what is this BIU? This is strike, X, whatever, all these things. Once I'm done understanding everything that is there here, then I'll jump to insert. And here I'll try to understand all these things. Then I'll jump to draw. Here I'll understand all these things. Once you're done with this entire toolbox, whatever it is, you're done with learning Word. No other textbook will give you extra information apart from this. This is the same way, and the same way you apply it to your PostgreSQL, right? For example, I'll go to um, the installation location. I have all the what do you call tools. In this, you have a tool called pSQL. You use this tool to log into your database, SQL Plus. And then you have a tool called pg_dump. This is used to export your tables, logical backup, EXPDP. And then you have something called um, where is another thing? PG restore, IMPDP, to import your dump file into the database. This is to take physical backup. This is to create a user. This is to create a database. This is to do defragmentation and so on. This is to stop your PostgreSQL database cluster. People will ask, do you cover upgradations? Check if there is any tool for upgradation. Yes, you have upgradation tool, EG upgrade. So every day we are going to understand one tool, how it works, how to use it, and all that stuff. In the same way, I'll go to my um, database files location. You have so many files and folders. What is this file? What I can do with this file? What happens if I lose this file? This file contains all the parameters. How do I edit this parameter? How do I edit this parameter? Done. That's it. So this is your checklist. End of the day, you have to understand each and every tool that is there here. Where is that? Here. And each and every file and folder that is there here. What is the use of, for example, this folder, what it contains, what happens if I lose this file, what happens if I lose this folder. That's it. Clear?
Hey,
So
Kumar, I have a question here.
go ahead.
So, as you stated, like this is a data file and whatever the DB related files location, right?
Hmm,
So, for example, if we have 3 to 4 databases, all will be stored in the same location,
correct.
or
No, correct. Same
it will
location.
be. Oh, okay.
Currently, I have
Is there
three.
a way that we can save in different locations?
Yes.
Okay.
So currently, you have three folders here inside your data directory, inside a specific folder called base. And each folder represents a database. I log in, I'll do /L. You have three rows, that means three databases. Each folder represents one database. So data files or table files related to Postgres might be there in folder 5, and template 0 might be there in folder 1, template 1 might be there in folder 4. And you
So,
want to
how to
have
correlate that?
that's a secondary thing,
Okay.
right? And you wanted to have a new database. Let me create a database A, then list. You will have four folders. And since this is the new folder created, maybe this folder is for database A,
Okay.
right? And you wanted to don't want your database A folder to be created within your main data directory. You want it outside your data directory. You can do that.
Okay.
But yeah,
Got
end
it.
of the day, on a fresh installation, you will have these two locations. This location is for installation. Look, this location is where you have your all binaries. This location is where you have all your database files.
So if we use different locations, will it show here the
Yes,
different locations?
yes, yes.
Okay, got it. Got it.
It will show here means when you log in here and when you do LSF and LRT, you will have a link to the original location.
Symbolic link.
Yeah, soft link.
Got it.
Yep. Now what I'll do, ps-ef grep postgres postgres. I'll go to this location, ls-lrt present working directory. You have something called postgresql.conf. Open the configuration file where you have all the configuration settings. In this, I will search for something called log connections. Enable this. Then you have something called log disconnections, and then log duration. Save. And every time you edit your configuration file, you might need to restart or reload your PostgreSQL cluster based on the parameter that you edited. Um, right. Now what I will do, I'll go to my database files location. Inside my database files, I have opened this configuration file and I have edited these three parameters. What these three parameter names? The name log underscore connections, log underscore disconnections, log underscore duration. The name itself says that I need to log my connection requests somewhere. It will be in my alert log. When you enable those three parameters, you have connection information get logged in your log location. Here I'll go to log folder. Inside my data directory, I have a folder called log. Inside that log, I have my alert log. Open my alert log. Now I will do something like psql -u username -d database name -h 192 168 169 135. Enter connection received. I will enter the password. Connection authenticated. Every time I try to establish a connection with my database, I got these three lines. Why I got these three lines? Because I have enabled log connections. So every time there is a connection request made, you write that information to your alert log. I will do /q, that means exit. I got log disconnection, disconnected message. Right. Why I got this line? Because I have enabled this log disconnections. And every time you run a query, how much time that query took will be written here because of log duration in your alert log. Let me try to connect again. Attempt and then exit. Try to connect again. Attempt, you enter the wrong password and you see password authentication failed. And when connection attempt is failed, or you get something like this. Is this clear?
Yes.
Enter the password. Select start from employee. Yep. Right. Next thing, I'll do ps-ef grep postgres. You see here, this is a very big line with -d in between, which means your postmaster is running. And these are your background processes. When you do this, this is your postmaster. And these are your other background processes. Each process has its own job to do. We'll understand them later. And then I'll try to establish a connection. Come here and see. You have a new line got created. And this is your user backend process. Now let me remove this. This is not required. Not required this as well. Right. So this is your postmaster. These are your other background processes. This is your user backend process, right? The one that I said. Your client process wanted to establish a connection with the postmaster. After authentication is done with PGHPA, he will create another process and hand it over to client. And this guy will go inside the database, get the data, give it to the user. Which means this guy will go inside the database and get the data for client. Watch -n1. I will run this query again. ps-ef grep postgres. So this is my, what do you call, user backend process, background processes, my postmaster. I'll do select star comma, give me the result after, let's say, 5 seconds from employee, not 5, 10 seconds. You see, select is happening here. And after 10 seconds, I'll get the result, and this session is now idle. Currently, I'm not doing anything in this session, which means this process is not doing anything. I'll run it again. You have select happening here. Once I get the result, it turned into idle again. This confirms that my user backend process is in fact going into the database and fetching the data. Is this clear?
So if 100 users connected to the database, everything will be displayed here?
Yes, you will see 100 different lines here.
Oh, okay. So we can also see what the 100 connections are doing, like select, update, insert, whatever it is.
Correct. You can also see that information from within the database using dictionary views. But yeah, if you wanted to see it at operating system level, you can see that.
Okay.
So is this a like
Thank you.
TCP connection, or
Sorry?
is it a TCP connection or HTTP?
This currently is your TCP connection because I used -h. Otherwise, it is local connection, socket connection. It's not HTTP connection. Now, I exited that user backend process is gone. I'll try to connect again. Postgres. I got this. And I will exit. That is gone. So that extra line or the user backend process will last until the connection is there. If you exit the connection, that will go away. And I'll do it again. psql. I got duplicate session root RAC123 switch to Postgres psql. So I have established 2 connections here, and you should see 2 lines. This is 1 and this is 2nd. Both are local connections and both are idle. You have 100 connections, you have 100 different lines, you can see. I'll copy all these, put it here, remove this, yeah. So you have currently 2 user backend processes. You have background processes, you have your postmaster. In this list, This is your process ID, and this is your parent process ID. This is your process ID, and this is your parent process ID. Process ID for your postmaster is 2913. Parent process ID is your 1, that means Unix initdb, and parent process ID for logger process is 2923, which is same as your process ID of your postmaster. Process ID of postmaster is 2923, which is in turn to be parent process ID of all the other background processes, including your user backend process, which confirms that postmaster is in fact has created this process.
So if we kill this process, then everything will be closed.
If you kill this, everything is gone.
Okay.
Right. Now, I'll exit. What is the second thing? Take care of other background processes. So what I'll do now, I'll come here. ps-ef grep postgres. Check again. I have one user backend process. I have few background processes and a postmaster. I'll do something like kill -9. My one of the background processes. Let me kill this background writer. I killed my background writer. Now try again. You got your background writer again? Yes, no, maybe. Hello?
Yeah, I can see
Yes,
background
yes.
right now. Yeah.
But that might have different process ID.
Right. After killing my background writer, I got my background writer back again with a new process ID 4835. And when you see here, not only this, you got process ID changed for all the other background processes. You can also note that now you don't have user backend processes. So my process ID changed for all the other background processes. At the same time, I don't see my user backend process as well. I'll go to my alert log and we'll try to read my alert log. What is this? What it says? 2926 or your background writer process was terminated by signal 9, terminating any other active server process. All server processes terminated. Database system was interrupted. It was shut down. I'm doing automatic recovery. So what really happening here is when you do kill -9 and any process ID, it will restart your PostgreSQL.
I mean, if you try to kill any of the background process, it will be restarted.
Correct. So you should not use kill-9 to terminate any um, user backend process or your background processes, whatever it is. When you use kill-9 to kill your postmaster, your entire cluster is gone. You have to manually start it again. But if you kill any other background process, your postmaster will recreate it. But in the process, it will restart your Postgres.
So during restart, it will be impacted the services.
Obviously, it's a reboot, right? And when you restart, all your user backend processes are gone. Which means all the connections are gone. Right.
Those background processes are important ones or total background process these ones?
Sorry.
I mean, these are total background processing process or important ones? Like auto vacuum launcher or wall writer, background writer.
I didn't get your question.
And these are all background sessions, I mean background processes in the process.
No, these are
Important ones.
these are few mandatory, and based on um, your requirement, you enable disable certain parameters. New background processes will come. But yeah, these are all your minimum background processes that will come up when you initialize your first database. So minimum required background processes. Out of all these, this is still not required and this is still not required. These three are mandatory background processes. Your postmaster,
So
obviously.
so when a user connected, which means it creates an user connection, right?
This one.
So how do we figure out to which database it connected?
This one. This is the username. This is the database name.
Okay.
PS-EF grep Postgres, and I will psql /l. I have 4 databases and there is a database name A. psql -u, username is Postgres, -d, database name is A. Enter. Now I have connected to database A. You can also see that information here. Come here and see. Username, database name. It's a local connection. Currently, it is not doing anything.
Got it.
Right. I'll exit and then that is gone. Right. Now what I will do, -u Postgres, -d Postgres, enter. U Postgres, D Postgres, enter. Check how many connections are made. I have made 2 connections, 1 and 2. I'll do something like select here. Let me put 60 seconds. Come here and check. You have select happening here. That means this session is your 5088 process ID and 5083 is this session. Now, let me put, let us say 120 seconds. Check again. Yes. And then /d pg stat activity. So this is your dictionary view to check what each client is doing. Process ID, comma, where is query? Query, comma, what is the current state of the query? from your pgstat activity. You have something called this query is active and whose process ID is 5088. That is this. There is no SPID to PID conversion. You can directly see the operating system process ID here in this pgstat activity. Now, if I want to kill this connection, I will do something called select PG, cancel backend of your process ID. What is the message I got? Canceling the statement due to user request. And what I did this. This is how you cancel your ongoing big transaction. I'll come here and check.
Instead of using kill icon 9, you have to use this one. Yeah?
Correct. What this does is it will cancels your ongoing transaction, but it will retain your connection. The connection will still be there. I'll try to run it again. And you're having select happening on the same 5088. Come here and check. 5088, it is running. Then you have something called PG terminate backend of 5088. Enter. This time I got a different message. Earlier it was canceling statement due to user request. Now it is terminating connection due to administrator command. I will copy this, put it here. Then come here and see whether 5088 is there. 5088 is gone. You have another one. This will not happen with your application, but yeah, since it's a local request, you have another one created. You see here, you have something called attempting reset and it is success. The point is when you use terminate backend, where is the terminate backend? Yeah, when you use terminate backend, you're terminating the entire connection. When you use cancel backend, you're canceling the ongoing query.
So terminate is like kill command.
Yep, terminate is like kill command. You're terminating the connection, and cancel is like you're just canceling whatever the statement that is ongoing. Your connection will still be there. Right now, what I will do, I have established two connections. I will do something like begin. Update employee set salary equals to 200 where ID equals to 1. I'm yet to commit this. And then from here I will see. So there is an update happening. 5278 is the transaction ID and 5282 is this session. I'll come here and see. I have 5282 which is idle, and then I have 5278 which is my update. So this 5278 is this, and this is idle. 5282 is this. Is this clear? Currently, I'm in transaction. Idle in transaction means you have executed one transaction, but you wanted to, but you're waiting whether to commit or not. I'm currently not doing anything, but I'm in the transaction mode. That is idle in transaction.
So it will not show update, right?
While update is going on, it will show update. Now the update is completed. I'm waiting for whether to commit or not. Now what I'll do, I'll use kill-9 on my idle session. What does this mean?
Kill your session.
Kill your session, and what it happens, what it actually does.
Will
Reboot.
again try.
Yeah,
Connect.
it'll reboot. Now I'll do commit. What is the message? Terminating connection because of crash of another server process. The postmaster has commanded the server process to roll back the current transaction. Right? So what is this message? In your alert log, it indicates that you have cancelled ongoing transaction using PG cancel backend. And this indicates that you have terminated the ongoing existing connection using PG terminate backend. And this indicates somehow abnormally your system got terminated. Terminating connection because of crash of another server process, and the ongoing transaction will be rolled back. Is this clear?
Yeah.
So like even if we kill from OS, like the database restarts. Yeah.
Never use kill-9 at operating system level on any process. I have used kill-9 on my where I have used idle session, and it has killed my update.
Yeah, but database will not be killed, right? Because it's just we are killing user session.
It is nothing but database kill, right? It has killed everything. What is this?
Yeah, that time actually we have killed the background writer process.
No, you kill any background, you kill any process with kill-9. What is the current error message that you got when you kill idle session? Open. What is the process ID that we killed? This is not. This is 5282 is what I killed. Server process. Earlier I got something like background writer process is terminated, and this time it is server process. That means user backend process. 5282 was terminated. And which one was terminated? What was the query? This is the query. At the time of terminating that session, the query that is running was this, or the previously successfully executed command from that particular session was this. It can be either one or two. Since I killed this, it has rebooted my system. using kill -9. So when there is a select query happening, it is taking longer time. You don't go and you kill that select query using kill -9. It will restart your system.
Oh, this will be a huge impact, right? Even if we are killing a user session, if it restarts the database.
That's why you have these two, right? PG terminate backend and PG cancel backend. So when there is a long running select happening, you want to terminate only that select statement. You want to retain that connection. You can use cancel backend. If you want to terminate that session, never mind, I will re-establish the session. Then use terminate backend. People use PG terminate backend directly. Not a problem.
If you are using PC terminate background, so only that session will be filled and it will be established again, right?
Correct.
So there is no change on background process IDs or anything.
No, if it is terminate backend, your process ID changes. This process ID gets killed.
Yes, only that particular session will be filled. There is no impact on other
Correct.
parameters.
Correct.
But there is no impact on the database.
No. And if
Only
you
kill
go,
command has impact on the database.
kill -9, signal 9 has impact. Let us say you wanted to use kill command and you don't want it to restart your database. Instead of -9, you use -15, -15. Then there will not be any impact.
But Finlayson using till Oracle regularly.
Yeah, that is why. Since we are used to -9, then yeah, I'm giving this. Instead of having this practice of using -15, it's better to have this practice of using PG terminate backend. Right. And let us say you wanted to, I have 10-15 sessions, I want to kill all them at a time. Do I need to use PG terminate backend and all this process in Oracle? You do something like this. PS-EF, grep Postgres. You take process ID something like this and put it here. Use kill -9 something like this, and then execute all at a time. Right? Here you can do. I'll come here. In this list, you have all the process IDs. Assume that all these are idle. So what you'll do? Select process ID from pgstat activity, where state equal to idle. That means get the list of process IDs. Right? And then you have to pass them to PG terminate backend of your query. Something like this. Is this clear? This is not the exact syntax. You can get the syntax in Google, but the point is, yeah, you can pass process IDs one by one from your query to your PG terminate backend all at a time. Is this clear?
So let's say if we have a Patroni cluster, so will it restart other nodes as well, like in the Patroni cluster?
From where you are going to where, man? Go ahead. What is the question?
So I was asking, like here we have only one node, right? So if we have a Patroni cluster, we will have 3 nodes.
Yes.
So if we any
yes.
one node, then will it restart?
Yes, you can do. What you do is in your Patroni cluster, you do something like Patroni CTL -help. If you have custom YAML file, then Patroni CTL -c, your YAML file space -help. It will give you what do you call the list of help commands. In that, you go and see either reboot or reinit. Reinit is going to completely initialize that particular node that you wanted to reinitialize, or reboot, you wanted to reboot your particular node. It is something like this. Patroni CTL -c, your YAML file, then your cluster name, let us say my PG cluster, and then my node name, my node 01, and then reboot. Right? To know all these things, you do -help.
But Patroni is third party, right? Okay, if it is embedded or if it is used by any company, then in that case, in order to kill the activity or terminate the backend process, we can make use of Patroni. That's what you mean.
No, he's asking, who asked this question actually? You want to reboot your node in the Patron. It is not like you wanted to kill any session. If you wanted to kill a session in the Patron, you use the same, this thing only.
Okay, okay.
Any other question? Right. Uh, any questions here?
No.
Right. Now what I'll do, I will go to my configuration file, open my configuration file, and then do grep idle. Not idle. I will do timeout. So you have certain timeout parameters in your configuration file, in which I will select these, not required. So these are the timeouts related to your connection. Statement timeout, transaction timeout, idle in transaction session timeout, and idle session timeout. Any question in these four? They are self-explanatory. What is statement timeout?
A particular statement which you are running currently.
So you are running a select statement and you wanted to kill it after 5 seconds, let us say. You can enable this. What is transaction timeout?
A
So
particular
the same
unit
way, if
of
we are running an update and if we are not committed yet the transaction,
You're
still it is
running an
going.
update and update is going on, then it is a transaction timeout. And when
Yeah,
you
suppose if you are using, I mean, inserting use data, so that time it will be right.
correct. And when you have already ran your update and you are waiting for commit, and then it is idle in session timeout, and then you have idle session timeout, we are not doing anything. right? Idle in transaction session timeout is you already ran your transaction and you are now waiting. For example, I'll come here. I'll come here. I'll do open configuration file, then idle in transaction session timeout. Let us say I will set it to maybe 5 seconds. Save, go to log, psql-c, select, pg, reload, conf. I'm just reloading my configuration file to take it effect. Now I will log in. Enter into the transaction mode, run your transaction, wait for 10 seconds. What is the message you got? Terminating connection due to idle in transaction timeout. Why you got this message? I'll try to commit now. No, it's already terminated. Right? Why it got terminated? Show what is the
Is there
parameter
a
I edited?
is there a wait time something?
What is wait time?
I mean, suppose commit we haven't done commit operation, and suppose in 10 second or 5 second it will auto
Auto
session
commit.
timeout. Auto
I,
commit or auto session timeout. Is there any such functionality?
I didn't get you.
Actually, I am telling now you got idle in transaction session timeout, right? Because you did not perform the commit operation.
Correct.
So I mean that when means is there any option that okay if within 5 seconds you have to perform the commit operation, or if you are not able to perform then you will get idle in transaction session time?
That is what we did now. We set it to 5 seconds.
Okay, you set it forcefully to 5 seconds. Okay, I
Huh.
missed that. Okay, okay, got it.
The default is 0, which means unlimited. 0 is disabled.
Okay,
And now I set it to 5 seconds. That means it will wait for 5 seconds for you to perform commit or rollback, and then it will kill.
okay,
Same
got
is
it.
applicable to your select. For example, if you set it to 10 seconds, that means your select statement should finish within 10 seconds. Otherwise, that select statement gets cancelled automatically.
So okay, which log file did you refer for this, or did you put a command? Actually, I missed it.
It is not log file, it is your configuration file. All
Okay,
the configurations you will do it in PostgreSQL.conf.
Okay.
So while setting these parameters, we need to be very cautious, and based on the application requirement, we need to set the timings. Correct?
Yeah, correct. So when you are setting these parameters, the first thing is you don't set transaction timeout. You never set transaction timeout. Right? When you set the transaction timeout, your current transaction gets aborted. Right? You should not do that. Right? Never set this. And the second thing is when you have too many idle in transaction sessions in your environment, again, never set this idle in transaction session timeout. Instead, talk to your application team to close the connections. The problem lies there, right? Let us assume what they have written in Java or in their application code. They establish the session connection start, and then they do update, and then they don't put connection end. Call this as connection leakage. So when you see too many idle in transaction session timeout session, idle in transaction sessions in your environment, don't kill them, because when you kill them, all your transactions are gone. Even though the transaction is completed, it gets rolled back. So what you need to do, you have to ask your application team to kill those connections. Close the connections at code level.
I mean, if it is, I mean, lot of idle connections in the database, so it will impact on the performance, right?
It will not impact your performance, basically, but it will stop the new connections to come in if it reaches your maximum connection limit.
Yes, right.
Right? If it is idle session, it will not impact the performance. Each idle session in Postgres will take about 1.9 MB of memory. So maybe if you have 100 idle sessions, it will eat up some 200 MB memory. And there is no CPU utilization because it is idle. So 200 MB is not a big deal. But the point is, when you have pSQL max connections set to 100, or if all the 100 sessions are established and everything is in idle mode, then yeah, you cannot establish one more connection. If you see all the sessions are idle, then you can set this parameter, not a big deal. If you see all the sessions or the majority of the sessions in idle in transaction mode, you have to talk to developer. And this one, it is up to you. This one, don't set it at all. Is this clear?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Right.
So suppose if I want to refer this sessions, so where would I get the link to?
Means what?
Actually, I want to go through the recorded session. Now you are recording the session, right? So in future, if I want to refer this,
I'm yet to create a drive link. I will put there. So maybe in another 1 or 2 days, I'll update you all the details.
and what is the duration? Like it would be for a month.
Unlimited, unlimited.
Okay, it would be unlimited. That link. Okay, got it.